So Queer Eye is a show on Netflix that's essentially picking up the mantle from the show Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. Then they were like, well, I guess that's a stigma. Granted, if there's a stigma about me, I want it to be I'm fashionable. And although the very fashionable Fab Five are all gay, it's not just straight people that need help. Straight, gay, trans, they help many people. And that's what the show is. These five go around to people in Georgia that need their help. Maybe they don't have fashion sense. Maybe they don't know how to cook. Maybe they look unkempt. Maybe they're grown adults and their place looks like a kid lives there. In most cases, it's all of the above. Everyone in the show has their place. They have their thing that they teach people. Tan's fashion, whether it be a suit or casual wear that looks nice. I can't get my French tuck to work as well as he does, or as well as anyone who he helps does. I call it Frenchish tuck, but damn it, I'm learning. Anthony's the food guy. I now know how to make guacamole like a motherfucker, and tell you that. Jonathan's the hairstylist. That's hair, that's beard. Jonathan, I feel like Jonathan's one of those ones you use his name to describe him. Like, Jonathan. He's eccentric, he's energetic, he apologizes for none of it. That's what I love about him. But he just owns it. Like he said, he's like, just own it. Like Tyrion Lannister said, wear it like armor, can never be used to hurt you. The transformations he does, man, I haven't seen transformations like this since Beauty and the Geek. You remember that show? Transformations were business. Now Jonathan does it. Bobby works on the living space. He's interior decorating. I'm glad in season 2, Bobby got a little more shine. I felt like in season 1, Bobby just kind of got pushed to the background because he dealt with the person so much, and they're out there dealing with the person, they're buying suits, and meanwhile, Bobby's working on the living space in the house. Then they come back, and Bobby's like, hey, I transformed your house, peace. So I'm glad in season 2, you got a little more of who Bobby is. You didn't get so pushed into the background. Because in season 1, I was kind of indifferent to Bobby. It bummed me out. Season 2, you get more of who he is. That's important in a show like this. And Karamo, for the longest time, I was like, what does Karamo do? Does he just give motivational speeches? He does, that's his thing. He's the culture guy, which means, hey, take a ride with me, I'll give you motivational speeches. But he has such good insight, and it doesn't even end on the show. You follow him on Instagram, you'll get a motivational speech there. One of the videos you put on Instagram, he gave relationship advice. I was like, that's fucking solid relationship advice. How people live, how people eat, how they express themselves, how they dress. It's all interconnected to making the best you possible. Not gonna lie, after watching a couple episodes of this show, I looked around at my place, I was like, I need to unbachelor pad all of this. Blank walls, blinds. A lot of the walls are still blank. I got curtains now and a neat little display for my records. Not gonna take all that credit. Girlfriend definitely helped me out on that. Which shows that for a lot of people, a lot of us out there, we can't do it alone. But what this show does, the most important thing it does, is just brings a ray of positivity to the world. And you look at social media, you look at Twitter, you look at Facebook, all of it's designed to create argument. How on earth can you actually have a conversation at 140 or 280 characters at a time? You can't. You jab, you pull back, they jab, they pull back. There's no real conversation happening there. And lines have been drawn and each side's fighting each side. It's crazy out there. It's like this show, the producers, the cast, the five, they all have this idea in their head. They're like, let's just fight the negativity with positivity. Let's bring a little light into the world. It's pretty much like that Michael Jackson song, you know, heal the world, make it a better place. Yeah, those are my moves, whatever. It's like the basis of that song drawn into a show. There's actually a great episode. This show takes place in Georgia. I don't know where all of them are from, but they seem very Hollywood. So Karamo's driving, Karamo's black, they get pulled over by a cop. So initially Karamo's like, I'm a black guy, got pulled over by a cop, go figure. Turns out the cop is the one that called them out to help his friend. So later on, Karamo and the cop have a conversation about cops, black people, tension. I'll say that again and hold on to your tweets. They had a conversation. There's this episode where Anthony was talking about coming out and he's tearing up and he's like, not everyone has that family that accepts them. And you're like, oh my God, he lost people and it's crushing. I mean, it's not a good thing that pain happens. Pain is a reality of life. We have pain. But when people show you their pain, they show you more of them. I just appreciated that he showed us that. And I don't know him, so maybe he didn't lose anybody, but that scenario definitely hit him hard. And so I appreciated that it was shown. It's a very real moment. And he's not the only one. Karamo, Bobby with the church. In these episodes, you get glimpses of the pain of the past of members of the cast. It's just that's very real. It keeps the show from being too high happy all the time, unrealistic. And it's high happy because we're choosing to be, but we recognize that there's pain in the world. Somewhere among the episodes, there will be an episode that will bring you at least almost to tears. Like if you don't actually break down to tears, you'll have a knot in your throat and you'll be like, I'm not crying, you're crying. Actually, I think that's on the poster. And above all, it looks like the Fab Five have a fun time doing it. Like they're having fun, you're having fun watching it. It's one of those shows when it's over, you're like, damn it, I want more now. And in a world of social and political tension, I like how they dealt with some of the Trump supporters they had on the show. A couple people for sure in the show, they voted for Trump. I would venture to guess a few more. I mean, not everyone did. There were definitely some Democrats, some liberals on the show. That's the point of the show. It just is an array of people. But they're in the backwoods of Georgia. They're gonna have a few Trump supporters on there. But they didn't boil the quality of the character of the people they were dealing with down to who they voted for. Most of the time, they don't talk politics at all in the show. I don't know, I just appreciate the fact that you have these five guys, none of which are fans of Donald Trump. fact, from where they're coming from, they have every reason to hate the guy, but they didn't put his voters into the Trump basket. People who voted for him are different human beings. I appreciate the fact that this show at least appreciated that. They treated people on the opposite end of the political spectrum as human beings. I'm gonna give you a cheat code for conversation. That's all people want. Now that you have the cheat code, feel free to use it. I bring this up because I feel like I have fans who lean right, and there might be a stigma, like you feel like the show's gonna call you an asshole if you watch it, and it won't. No matter who you are, there's something in this show for you. And that's what I'm talking about when I say the show is full of positivity. It's full of understanding. Understanding that talking with a sword isn't talking at all. Maybe we can have a conversation and both learn from it. It's like these are the type of dudes that will try to change your life, but not make you feel like you're less. They have that ability to walk shoulder to shoulder with the people they're helping, and they don't make those people feel like less. That's true humbleness, that's true humility, and that's true strength. I don't know, I'm just really attached to the show. I watched season 1, I immediately was like, how can I better my life? It's one of those shows that causes self-reflection, and I really appreciate that. And it's comprised of people that apparently have the concept of to make real change and to help heal this busted up social world. You don't do it by fighting. You can make change with positivity. I think that's just a really important message in this day and age. Alright, so Queer Eye, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.